notice that when we did x to the, or square root of 3 times square root of 3, we got square root of 9, which became 3. Same thing here, when I did square root of 5 times square root of 5, I got square root of 25, which became 5, right? So we know that if I have a positive number under the square root, and I multiply it by itself, I'm just going to end up with that number that was underneath the square root. Right? Does that make sense? Because it's going to become a perfect square. So, an example might be the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is going to get me the square root of 9, which is going to end up being 3. Does that make sense? Now, you can remember that, and you can go, okay, well, I'm going to do 3 squared, which is, so I'm going to do 3 squared times the square root of 2 squared. 3 squared is going to get me 9. The square root of 2 squared is going to get me 2. And together they get me 18. You can do it that way. Does it make sense how to do it that way? Or, I suggest, you go, okay, that means 3 square roots of 2 times 3 square roots of 2. And then you go, okay, 3 times 3 is how much? 9 square roots of 4. 4 becomes a 2, which still gets me 18. I like this way because it makes more sense to me. It means this entire thing times this entire thing. Okay? Which will make more sense when you start putting more than one thing inside your parentheses. Okay? Because do you remember how when we went to factoring, and when we did factoring, you all wanted to do, when we had it like this, you all wanted to go, oh, that's x squared plus 4. Remember doing that? And I told you that was wrong, because that really means x plus 2 times x plus 2, and then you had to factor it out, and then you had to double distribute. Remember doing that? Yeah. So, in this case, I like this way better, because it keeps everything together, and it causes you not to want to break it up. Does that make sense? Now, because those are the only 2 things in there, it's not a big deal if you break it up, but that's not how I'm gonna work it. Okay, so when you see me work it, I'm gonna work it like this. Everybody okay with that? Yes or maybe? Yes, no, maybe? Okay. So I would like for you to work that one, please. Bless you. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to say that this is really 2 square roots of 7 times what? 2 square roots of 7. So 2 times 2 is going to get me 4 times the square root of 7 times 7 is 49, which is really just going to be 4 times 7, which is actually going to be 28. How many of you got 28? Does that make sense on how we did that? Did anybody split it and go, okay, I'm going to do 2 squared times the square root of 7 squared?
I did it both ways.
Okay. I just be careful with that. Okay? Because if there's more than one term inside those parentheses, that gets a little tricky. Okay? Everybody okay with that? Yes or maybe? Yes? No? Maybe?